All right, page 3. So find the area of each of the following figures. All right, plug and chug. That's the biggest thing you have to keep in mind. So for finding area, and this is a rectangle, so we know its length times width. So it's going to be 12 times 6, which is 72. Very quick. But don't forget the units. So the units are 72 what? And remember, because it's area, we have to be careful. So it's centimeters with the exponent 2 on there. Don't forget the exponent, otherwise you're going to lose points. All right, what do we got here? We have a parallelogram. So parallelogram is base times height. We have the height. Remember, that's always going to be that dotted line that forms a right angle with one of the sides. So in this case, we got 12 times 5, which is 60. So 60, whoops, make sure you write the right units. So 60 inches to the second power. Nice and quick. All right, a couple more shapes. We got a triangle for this one. So the formula is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 17 times 8. So 1/2 17 times 8 is what? 136. So half of 136, I believe, is going to be 68, right? Half of that is 68. So 68 meters squared. All right, so far so good, hope, yeah? Trapezoids. Trapezoids are a little bit more involved, but so we have our formula. Now the b's might be reversed in the formula, but it doesn't matter because you're just adding them. So remember, addition is commutative. So the biggest thing to keep in mind is that those bases are your parallel sides. So in this case, the 24 and the 16 are going to be your bases. The height is, again, that dotted line that forms that right angle. So that's going to be your 9. So if we say half of 9 times 24 and 16, well, I'm going to go over here, I guess. So half of 9 times 40. Well, 9 times 40 is 360. And half of 360 is 180. Now, you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm saving that 1/2 for last because you can take half of something much easier. And it avoids the possibility of you trying to distribute it and just making mistakes. Save it for last, and that's the safer way to go. So 180, and don't forget your units, so meters to the second power. All right. Ooh, this one's a good one. So if a circle has an area of 144 pi square inches, what is its circumference? Okay, so we have a circle. And the only thing we know is that the area is equal to 144 pi square inches. Now the problem, we don't know what the radius is. So that's something we're going to have to work on. But that's not really going to help us too much with the final answer, but maybe it will. What is its circumference? So if we know that we need the r, we should probably make sure we use the right formula for circumference with the r. So we know that c equals 2 pi r. So once we know what the r is, that makes this happen, we can use that same r in here to get the circumference. So now the question is how do we get this r? What else do we know about area of circles? What's the formula? Remember, if we have a circle, a equals pi r squared. So that helps us a little bit because, okay, we have a formula for the area of a circle. We have a specific area of the circle. So how can we merge these two together? Well, can we just substitute in for a. Substitute this pi r squared in for a. Let's see what happens. So by replacing this a in this equation with this pi r squared, we get this new equation. So we got pi r squared equals 144 pi. Well, one thing we can do is, because there's a pi on both sides and it's multiplied on, we can divide by it. So the pi's are going to cancel out completely. So we got r squared equals 144. How do we solve that? Hopefully you're screaming square roots, because that's exactly what you have to do. So we know that the radius is 12 inches, so now we can plug that in up here. So we'll plug that in up there. So we have 2. Now, it doesn't say what you can write for your final answer, if you want to leave it in terms of pi, or maybe you want to use 3.14. Either way, if you're not sure, if it doesn't explicitly say use pi, then you have the freedom to use either way, either method. So let's put in the 3.14, just to, most people like that better. So let's do this on the calculator just to make sure. I don't want to mess it up. So if we say 2 times 3.14 times 12 equals 75.36. So 75.36, and is it going to be what for units? Square inches? No. Oop, my buzzer's not working. Oh well. It's just going to be plain inches. Remember, circumference is like perimeter, so it's just a singular dimension. So 75.36 inches. And if you wanted to leave it in terms of pi, remember this is pi here, so 2 times 12, you could also have said 24 pi inches. And that would have been acceptable as well. So either one of those forms. All right, another page down, and we got one more page to go. See you in the next video.